Hey, so this is from something that I wrote in my journal back in 2010. So it's pretty old, but I still think it's relevant. Um, what I did is I jotted down all the benefits of having if cars drove themselves. So I'm just going to go through and read a few of the benefits here. No more car accidents from human error. No more road rage. No more laws being broken, getting lost, or taking a wrong turn. There's no more DMV, DWI, DUI, nor deaths from drunk driving. No more traffic courts, traffic lawyers. No more speed bumps. Another benefit would be traffic management. This works really well when there are a lot of cars wanting to go in one direction at the same time. Um, if you do have any type of like a medical emergency, the ambulance would be able to tell the road to clear itself so that it could go extremely fast to get people to the hospital faster. Um, there's a lot of times when you might have a medical emergency while you're driving. I witnessed this myself a few years ago. I don't know what happened, but the car just started to veer off the road, hit the median, and then went back to the other side of the road and hit the side of the road over there. So I actually watched this as it happened. So I have no idea what happened inside the car, but this is if you have narcolepsy, if you have a stroke, heart attack, or whatever, if you have any type of medical emergency inside the car, if the car is driving itself, there is no danger to people on the outside. Something else is that when cars go at a constant speed, so the only time you'd actually accelerate or decelerate would be at the beginning and at the very end. Because once you're at a constant speed, it'll just continue to flow at that constant speed until the very end when you got to your destination. They could redesign cars so that it would have a lighter material. So they're not building cars for safety anymore. You're not building metal boxes that keep everyone inside safe. Because except for acts of God, there would be no collisions. Um, and if there are mechanical difficulties or electronic or software issues or whatever, they'd be extremely few, and over time they'd become even less and less. Um, no more car ownership, so I wouldn't have to purchase a car and just keep it in my driveway and just drive it anytime I wanted to. I'd become part of more of a network. So the car would come pick me up like an Uber, take me to my destination, drop me off, and then go off to someplace else. So it'll be a lot cheaper for everybody involved. And along those same lines, when it comes to like car insurance would be almost non-existent if it exists at all. I don't know how that would work, especially if you're part of the network. There would be no need. Um, let's see. Also, about when it comes to like maintenance of your car and stuff like that, the car it could just like go in the middle of the night. If for whatever reason it still needed to get a manual oil change or the battery flipped out of it or something like that, that's something that could just happen in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. The car will just up and go to a service station where it was designed to have the oil changed and then drive back into your driveway. And so um, there'd be no need for a human to actually spend time to do that. Um, no more handicap specials. If you are handicapped in some way, you can still get into your car and it'll still drive. You don't need to, like I said, it'll just drop you off at the front door and go park itself. So no more handicap special. Um, you won't have to trust the other drivers to stay in their lanes. Some of those 2-lane roads in the mountains and whatever are pretty dangerous, weather conditions and stuff like that, and you have to just trust the other driver that they're driving correctly. You don't have to do that anymore. We need to have cars to drive themselves before we have flying cars. Because if we can't drive in 2D, how are we going to drive in 3D? Let's see. Oh, and I do talk a little bit about some of the bad things about having cars drive themselves. There's a lot of people who have jobs based off of driving, uh, teleportation, commuting. Whole lot of people are going to be losing their jobs, and you're going to be seeing that in a few years here with like trucking. Once trucking is automated, and so a lot of people are going to lose their jobs here, and so that is one disruption. But I think throughout history we've always had disruptions like that make it better for everybody in the long run. Yeah, the scribes lost their jobs, but I think that everyone would say that having printers and copiers are better than people manually writing out things. So the same with truckers. It sucks for the truckers, but it's beneficial to society as a whole, and I would think that we will see in time it will be a good thing. If your job can be replaced by a computer, it probably should be replaced by a computer. Another benefit is if there is any type of like a national disaster or whatever, the roads can be set up in such a way that everyone can leave the city. Right now, I've always thought it was stupid because we have rush hour traffic, and this is just at a normal work day. What's going to happen if there's some type of an emergency in downtown and everyone needs to leave the city right away? It's going to be chaos. It's going to be mayhem. Well, if cars drove themselves, then all lanes can be set up for outbound traffic, and all cars can speed at extremely high speeds just to get everyone out of the city and in safety. And yeah, like I said, this is something that I came up with like 10 years ago, and just like a thought experiment to myself is like, if cars could drive themselves, what would be the benefits to society? And I think that there'd be a lot of them, and I think that it would be a good thing. And I'm excited for the coming years when that's gonna be happening.